What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing a Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Remember, going to be going daily with Manchester City transfer updates throughout the summer transfer window once more from June for you guys to enjoy. So if you want to stay up to date here on YouTube with all the latest Manchester City transfer news, then do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Do leave a thumbs up. 200 likes is the aim. And do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. Finally, this video is sponsored and brought to you by Football Prizes. They're running a very special competition, which is a signed shirt from Kevin De Bruyne. So it's going to be framed and signed by Kevin De Bruyne for you to go and check out. There is 23 instant prizes available as well, including signed shirts coming in from Ruben Diaz, which would also be framed for you guys, as well as signed shirts from Joško Gvardiol and Ilkay Gundogan. Tickets are selling very fast. It's priced at £4.95 per ticket. So if you do want to go and check it out, links and details there in the description, and a big thank you there to Football Prizes for sponsoring today's video. Remember, anybody that does help with buying any tickets with Football Prizes through my link does help to support the future content created here on my channel. Plus, you're in for a chance of winning a fantastic prize with that signed Kevin De Bruyne framed shirt. So we're going to crack on with this video. We're going to start off with the outs, and some interesting news has come out about Mateo Kovacic. Now, HITC have said that Kovacic is wanted by clubs in Saudi Arabia this summer. Manchester City did sign him for £25 million last summer from Chelsea. If he was to be sold, which in my opinion he shouldn't be sold, every player that comes to Manchester City should be given at least 2 seasons to showcase what they can do before you start to contemplate about their future and where you go from there. He's not yet done that. He's still got another season to go before we hit that threshold, so I'd rather keep Kovacic rather than sell. But I imagine if the right offer does come in that City may be tempted to sell, we'll have to wait and see. He is 29 years old after all. Still a good player, provides competitive competition and options for Manchester City in midfield. But as I said, everyone will have a price. So if he was to be sold, what would you sell Kovacic for? Surely Manchester City here would be looking for profit, but you've got to ask yourself, for quality competition and a squad player, who are you going to bring in for around that £25 million mark again, like we did last summer? I thought it was a nice shrewd bit of business by Manchester City to bring in Kovacic, and there's just not that many options, so we'll see. As I said, any player that wishes to leave Manchester City will be able to do so. They've only got to communicate that with the club, and once that's happened, Manchester City will look to try and sell the player and find the best deal possible. And with interest coming in from Saudi Arabia, if Kovacic does let Manchester City know that he's interested and wants that move to Saudi Arabia, then it is a transfer that is doable. We'll see what happens. Speaking of transfers and leaving Manchester City and letting Manchester City know that they want to leave, takes us nicely onto an update on Stefan Ortega Moreno. Now, Florian Plettenberg over in Germany has said that talks over a new deal for Stefan Ortega Moreno to Manchester City have stalled. He says that Ortega Moreno wants to be a number 1, and he doesn't think that that's going to happen at Manchester City, and he's interested in potentially leaving Manchester City this summer. Now, what I find very interesting about this is we know that Sergio Gomez and Stefan Ortega Moreno are going to sit down with the City bosses at the end of the season to discuss their future. I presume that with Sergio Gomez, he's going to communicate to Manchester City that he wants more regular first-team football, which may see him either leave with a cheap buyback clause included on a permanent deal or a loan deal sorted. But this one with Stefan Ortega Moreno, very interesting. Pep Guardiola, according to Florian Plettenberg, wants him on a new deal. He wants to keep him at Manchester City because Pep likes him. He wants him to stay. He wants him on a new deal. But Ortega, he wants regular first-team football. He wants to be a number 1, and that isn't going to happen at Manchester City. So something does have to give with this in the summer. So it'll be a case of either a new deal is signed, and if not, I reckon Ortega leaves Manchester City, which means we would need a new backup goalkeeper. Apparently, Anderlecht are one of many European clubs chasing Stefan Ortega Moreno. I know he's got interest from Germany there as well. Now, moving on to the ins, got the very latest on Joshua Kimmich, and HITC have said that Kimmich still wants to leave Bayern this summer and he wants to move to the Premier League. City apparently at the front of the queue, closely followed by Liverpool. There's also interest coming in from Manchester United, from Tottenham Hotspur and from Newcastle United as well. So plenty of interest there in Joshua Kimmich. We'll see what happens with his future, of course, with Thomas Tuchel leaving Bayern Munich at the end of the season. It'll be interesting to see the new manager that they bring in, what they choose to say to Kimmich, and I think that holds the key here as to whether he leaves Bayern Munich or not. So I think it's safe to say we can put Kimmich to the back burner at least until June. And another player I want to speak about is Achraf Hakimi, back in the headlines for Manchester City. And AS over in Spain have said that numerous clubs are interested in signing the fullback from PSG this summer, including Manchester City and Real Madrid. They said that Manchester City asked the question last summer when Kyle Walker was close to signing for Bayern Munich, and Manchester City are continuing their to monitor the situation with Hakimi, with Kyle Walker getting no younger. So it'll be interesting to see what Manchester City choose to do and whether they want to make a move for Hakimi or any other fullbacks or any other right backs with that matter. Now moving on, we've got the very latest on Eberechi Eze. Same as Hakimi, Manchester City, they continue to closely monitor the situation of him and of Pedro Neto at Wolverhampton Wanderers, according to The Independent. They say that Spurs are also interested in signing Eze and Neto, but they believe that Eze's most likeliest destination right now from Crystal Palace is to Manchester City. Man City will be looking at right wingers in particular should Bernardo Silva leave the club this summer, with him having that €50 million release clause active for any club outside of the Premier League. Moving on, we've got the very latest on Douglas Luiz, and the Football Insider have said that Manchester City want the former Manchester City man back at the club from Aston Villa this summer. I do imagine a lot depends here on whether Aston Villa secure qualification into the Champions League or not. Manchester City, they want options in midfield. Luiz, being a former Manchester City man, of course, means that relations are already there, but I'm not too sure I see this transfer happening, certainly not this summer. In particular, if Aston Villa make the Champions League, I can see Douglas Luiz staying there. I can see Aston Villa keeping hold of a lot of their top players, including Douglas Luiz. So, again, another situation that I'll keep my eyes and ears open for. But I'd probably say here the most realistic transfer that we've got so far for the summer of players that aren't already guaranteed is Lucas Paqueta. Got the very latest on him, and reports have been coming in over the last week from Brazil that the national team director at the Brazil national team has apparently said that all allegations against Lucas Paqueta have now been dropped. And if that is true, that paves the way clear for Manchester City to make a move for Lucas Paqueta this summer. We were very interested through July and August last season. We were apparently close to agreeing a fee with West Ham for his signature before these betting allegations came out, and Man City cooled their interest from there and chose to make a move for Matheus Nunes instead. Again, a lot evolved around what happens with Bernardo Silva, but there still is space in Manchester City's central midfield. Calvin Phillips, we don't know what's happening with him, so there's the future of a lot of players to sort out, but there's definitely space in Manchester City's thin squad for more depth and more central midfielders, and Lucas Paqueta would be a player of interest. And with these betting allegations apparently done and dusted and sorted, and Lucas Paqueta in the all clear, it gives Manchester City the all clear for this summer to agree that fee with West Ham. We're looking at a fee similar to what was close to agreeing last summer, so £80 to £85 million. You get that fee agreed, you bring him to Manchester City, and you look to get that business done and dusted as soon as possible. Lucas Paqueta, very much on the radar still for Manchester City, and it is, with these allegations apparently dropped now, very clear for Manchester City. Pretty simple and straightforward, because all we do is we resume the talks from where we left off last summer for this summer to get it sorted. It makes sense. He's a Premier League proven player, adds quality into our central midfield, pretty versatile in central midfield as well. Likes to get forward. To me, he makes a really good Ilkay Gundogan replacement. You've got good options with Nunes and Kovacic if we can keep hold of them as well in our central midfield. We know De Bruyne is getting no younger. I don't see Paqueta as that long-term Kevin De Bruyne replacement. What I do see Lucas Paqueta as is providing good quality options for Manchester City in midfield, and good enough to get into Manchester City's starting 11 as well, and improve us and make us better. Expensive, yes, but you've got to spend money to make money, and Man City like to make money through being successful, and the only way we're going to stay right at the top of that football pyramid is through having the best high quality players, producing high quality players from the academy, which is why you're seeing so much emphasis from City bringing in the very best players from around the world at a young age to save money in the long term. We've got high quality young players being produced, either being sold for profit or being developed into the Manchester City first team squad. Phil Foden, we've seen, of course, before we sold him last summer, Cole Palmer. We've got Oscar Bob as well. You've got these high quality young players, and what you want to do is find a nice mix of them and also a nice mix of Premier League proven players who are good enough to get into the Manchester City starting 11, who are good enough to improve the Manchester City first team squad, which is what Lucas Paqueta does offer. This transfer excites me. I think it would be a fantastic fit for Paqueta to come to City, and for City to sign Paqueta and West Ham get themselves a fantastic deal with a lot of money coming their way as well that they can invest back into their first team squad. It makes sense as far as I'm concerned. So any developments on this, of course, I will keep you guys up to date. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. It is free. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Remember, daily Manchester City transfer updates coming from June for you guys to stay up to date throughout the whole summer with all the latest Manchester City transfer news here on YouTube. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do also leave a thumbs up. 200 likes is the aim. Finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Football Prizes. Remember, go and check out that fantastic framed, signed Kevin De Bruyne shirt. £4.95 to enter. Tickets are selling fast. Do go and check it out. 23 instant prizes also to be won as well, including signed shirts from Ilkay Gundogan and Joško Gvardiol, as well as a framed, signed Ruben Diaz shirt for you guys to go and check out. £4.95 to enter. You're free to get as many tickets as you want for the competition, so do go and check it out. As I said, tickets are selling fast, so you will have to be quick. Links and details there in the description, and a big thank you to Football Prizes for sponsoring this video. And I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next Manchester City video, as we'll have the big preview for the huge Premier League game on Sunday between Liverpool and Manchester City at Anfield. I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.